What's going on, y'all? It is a rainy storm checking in for the Venus sign series. Venus in the 11th house, to be exact. I am your cosmic root work astrologer specializing in evolutionary astrology. So if you are interested in learning more about your past lives, your current mission and state in this lifetime, you can definitely hit me up for personal readings. All that information below, okay, in that description link there. Be sure that y'all like, share, subscribe, and comment down below as well. And also hit that notification bell so you know when I'm posting up. All right, so we're gonna hop right on into it. Venus in the 11th house. We're gonna talk a little bit first about what Venus is, and then we'll talk a little bit about Venus in the 11th house. I forgot to say, welcome to my humble abode. For those of y'all that's coming in for the first time, welcome. For those of y'all that are returning and just learning about astrology, welcome to, welcome back. Welcome in. If you haven't seen me in a minute, welcome. Hello, how y'all doing? All right, let's get into it. Venus in the 11th house. So we have Venus being the planet of love, being the planet of beauty, being planet of luxury. This has to do with like our fun, our joy, our pleasure, our intimate connections, our business, finances, marital partnerships, or just intimate connections, deep intimate connections that we have with people who mirror you, are just mirrors that we experience within this lifetime are definitely housed with Venus in the 11th house, our Venus energy to be exact. Now, when it comes to Venus being, and also too, Venus is the relationship that you have with the divine feminine as well. And also the mothership can be seen that you have with her as well. But Venus in the 11th house, it is the Venus in the 11th house being the Aquarius house, is where we see very strong connections to friendships, because 11th house usually with Aquarius there has to do with friendships. This has to do with like organizations that you belong to. This has to do with like hopes, dreams, goals, wishes, things like that. And so you, especially humanitarian pursuits, or even like where you see advocates or people who are I'm now forgetting the word, not just advocates, but I'm forgetting the term for it. Not just okay, we're gonna come back to that when I get it. I'm like, oh yeah, these are people who, like I said, life, purpose, and goals. Like 10th house, there's like a strong mission to what it is that you come here to do in this world. And I feel like Venus in the 12th or Venus in the 11th house is like a collective purpose, or a collective thing of like tribal energy of like, finding your tribe, having your tribe, and y'all all have a collective purpose and mission of exactly what you want to do in this particular life. Now, granted, Venus in Aquarius or Venus in the 11th house can also be over cults, group organizations that you represent and things like that. And so, there could be a lot of love and free love with Venus in the 11th house going on here. Also social connections, organizations, like I said, humanitarian pursuits. Like everybody usually seems there's a huge focus on friendship. So maybe instead of having like a one-on-one partnership, that's not to say that you can't, but you put a lot of stock into nurturing your friendships and connections through organizational pursuits and whatever it is that you're connecting to. So let's say, I don't know why the first thing that came to my mind is like a knitting group. Maybe you put a lot of time and energy into going to your knitting group or something like that, or your pottery group or something. Or your friends are like your friends are like not just your intimate relationships, but your friends. You treat your friends like, you can even see somebody who treats their friends like they're in a relationship together, like, which we all are in relationship with each other. Like, no matter if it's like romantic relationship or just intimate friendships and things. But you could just see somebody who just very close and personal with their friendships and things like that. Definitely here. This is where we see collective consciousness, soul tribes, are also housed with Venus in the 11th house. People just seem to, like I said, on all videos, you just want to check the aspects. You also want to check that sign. You also want to check, like, what is your Venus having conversations within your personal birth chart. And if you need help with that, you already know how to find me. Link down below. But what is this energy usually... what is this energy usually speaking to in terms of your connections and friendships? Maybe Venus is also here too, if like you're not naturally, like you're kind of on the video, you're like, well, I'm not really close to people like that. Maybe Venus is showing you how to be close to people, how to get closely connected to others, how to experience these, maybe when you do start to open up and be vulnerable, you start to experience true joy through your friendships and your connections with people, your intimate relationships with people, even contractual agreements when it comes to business can be very fruitful with Venus in the 11th house. You know what I mean? Like everybody's just like usually on the same page. Everybody's kind of like with the go and get along. You know what I mean? With Venus in the 11th house here. You also can see... Yeah, I am so obsessed with the plants. But let me not divert to... you can also see... what else was I going to say? There is like this inner devotion of when you are in line with your life mission and purpose. You could just see somebody who just overall, like their energy, their sense of joy when they're doing the things that they love to do. So I don't know, revolutionizing the system with Venus here in the 11th house. There's just a sense of like joy and honor to do these things with, like I said, the collective group of people that you're with and things. So that's a little bit what I have with Venus in the 11th house. We're going to finalize this series with Venus in the 12th house, and I will see y'all next week, if you're not looking at Venus in the 12th house, for the Mars series. It's one of my favorites. I love Venus, but I love Mars. I don't know what it is about Mars. But I love Mars. I love talking about Mars because Mars and Mercury to me don't get enough love, and so I just love talking about those two places, those two planetary things there. So let's go ahead and move on. Venus in the 12th house. I'll see y'all on the next one. You already know what it is. Links below. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and make sure I hit that notification bell, and I will see you on the next one. Deuces.